I want to finish up this story about the great white hope, Donald Trump, telling this black female how the cow ate the cabbage and it was perfect love. He dealt with her the way a father deals with a daughter, the way a father deals with a son, the way a father deals with his wife. But we don't see this anymore. This is like old school stuff. And Donald Trump is from the old school. That's why he can't be defeated as an individual. Even if you take away the stupid election from him, you're still not beating Donald Trump as an individual. You can't beat him down. He's strong and of good courage, and he has no fear. God said, fear not. So why do you have fear? Why don't you even question that? Okay, God, you said fear not. Why do I have fear then? I know the word. I go to church. I went down to the front of the church and confessed Jesus as my Lord and Savior, and I believe in my heart that I am saved. But yet I have fear, and you're telling me to have no fear. Fear not. What the? But anyway, 888-7753-773. So Donald Trump told this black female at the National Association of Black Journalists how the cow ate the cabbage with perfect love and truth. Well, the truth is perfect love. And if we can find 5 more white men, because you can find 1 or 2 black men doing it, 1 or 2, few and far. But if you can find 5 more white men with this type of love and courage, we can save America. America will have a chance. Nothing can stop it. Really. We can finally bring back America, my country. But finding 5 more is like looking for over there in Abba land for a Christian. But anyway, CNBC, Donald Trump's appearance Wednesday at the National Association of Black Journalists annual convention in Chicago almost immediately went off the rail. It went off the rail probably with that black woman, but it didn't go off the rail with Trump, that's for sure. Almost immediately went off the rail as the Republican presidential nominee cast doubt on his rival ethnicity and clashed with a member of the panel. And I think this female is supposed to be a black journalist or representative, NBC or one of those places, I think. I want you to watch this. I want you to watch with a clear mind the love that comes from Trump through this situation. But first, this is from PBS. Reporter gives Trump a rude introduction. Watch this.
I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. Why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, ABC. A terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said you can't do it with Zoom. And then you were half an hour late. Just so we understand, I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working or something was
Mr. President,
wrong. I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act.
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
Amazing. That's amazing. I gotta say it. That was a father's love. That black woman is wicked. She's evil. And she's a bitch. That's a real bitch. And Daddy dealt with her with perfect love. That's an evil, if you didn't see how evil and nasty that black female was, you don't want to see it. You just don't want to see evil. And you're evil of your heart, and you can't see it. And Donald Trump showed her perfect love. He corrected the bitch with perfect love. He didn't get mad. He didn't go off. He didn't shout at her. He just told her the truth. He did not overreact. And that's what love is. And at one time, that kind of love coming from Donald Trump that you just saw was prevalent in America. I remember that kind of love was prevalent in America. I remember, long story short, an example of that kind of love. My grandfather wanted me to, down in Alabama on that plantation, wanted me to stay home. It was time to break the soil, clean the fields out so we could plant seeds. And he was saying, well, you can't go to school tomorrow because we got to break grounds. I'm like, I want to go to school. I want to go to school that day. He's like, no, you can't go. You got to stay. And I was ticked. I was like 10th grade, I guess, 9th, 10th. I was ticked. He's like, no, you can't go. You got to stay home. And the next morning I got up, and he was already out in the fields. I went out there and hooked up the mule to the plow and put the mule there on the road and take off to plow the field. And the plow ran over my foot and cut it open right on top. You can see all the red veins, the blood, the white meat. I'm like, what the? And he saw it. I'm like, Dad. I call him Dad. Dad, I cut my foot. He like, well, you had not been acting the way you were acting and did what I told you. You want to cut your foot. Plow the field. He felt nothing. He just said, oh, baby, you got to go home to mama, put some turpentine on it, alcohol on it or something. He felt nothing. He showed me perfect love. As Donald Trump just showed that stupid black female from the National Association of Black Journalists, he showed her perfect love. She has never seen that before. I spoke, matter of fact, I was on a panel once at the National Association of Black Journalists. They were nasty to me, too. But it was fine. Michael Dyson, I believe, was there, and other. I was okay with it. I understand. And you can, too. You can be free right here on earth. Donald Trump showed that female how the cow, he told her how the cow ate the cabbage. Can't you see we need more of that in America today? Instead of hate, we need love. Here's another soundbite from PBS. Trump love. Trump loved the blacks and has done so much for them. Here's Trump. Love the blacks and have done so much for them. Watch this.
I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country,
Nice.
including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. And, you know, and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke. And I saved them and I gave them long-term financing and nobody else was doing it.
Nice. See? He loved the blacks. But that black female don't want that to be known. She came in there in hell and damnation. She walked out of the gates of hell thinking that she was going to deal with the Son of God like she dealt with the sons of the devil. She thought she was going to walk all over them. It didn't work. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. But you don't know that yet. You don't believe it. You don't know it. And you don't believe it. It sounds good when you hear it, but you don't believe it. And the proof is in the pudding. You have anger. Anyone that has anger don't believe no greater is he that's in you. What's up? Donald Trump, I said from day one, not brash, and just reminding you, when Donald Trump was walking down, coming down the rail, their walk thing at his building there in New York, and he announced that he was running for president the first time around. I'm like, this is the man. This will be our next president. This is the man that can save America. There was something about him. When they saw Jesus Christ going over there into Israel, or wherever he went over there on that donkey, they saw him, the crowd saw him, and they knew that was the man. They knew. Likewise, the same spirit in Christ is in Trump. The same spirit in his brother, Christ, is in him. It's in you too, but you just don't know it. Or it can be in you if you overcome the false spirit. One last one. This is Trump says, I ain't know Kamala Harris was black. I don't think too many people knew that until she started saying that she was black, because she didn't look black to me. She looked like an Indian or something. Trump says he didn't know Kamala Harris was black. What's the response to this?
Sir, do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Yes.
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always
But you know
identified
what?
as a black woman.
I
She went to a
respect
historically
either
black
one.
college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn, and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir.
See, white people, black people need love too. For the last 60 to 70 years, you have been afraid to show black people love. By just saying, you know what, I'm not your problem. You're your own problem. I'm not the reason you're failing in life. Your parents are the reason, and then as an adult, you're the reason. I have nothing to do with slavery, plus slavery doesn't affect you anyway. You're not suffering because of slavery. You're suffering because you're lost. You're angry, and you're blaming. And you're not angry at me, you're angry at your mama and yearning for your father, but in your darkness, you're saying I'm your problem, and I'm not. White people, you should have just been telling the blacks this for 60 to 70 years. I guarantee you they'll be better off today than they are now. They were better off before the Civil Rights Movement. The worst thing that ever happened to the Civil Rights Movement, to the blacks, other than abortion, was the Civil Rights Movement. They have not recovered. Donald Trump told that black female from the National Association of Black Journalists, How the Cow Ate the Cabbage. And if you heard the audience, some of the audience like right on Trump, they were loving it. Which says, and the Democrats don't want to hear this, believe me, that there are black people who are waking up and they see that Trump, they see where Trump is coming from. And they are supporting the Great White Hope. And that black national woman that was talking to Trump, that's the last thing she wanted to reveal, is that there were black in the audience who applauded Trump. What the? She has egg all over her face. Uncooked egg splattered on her face. And Trump showed her love. What America needs is love. She was like, you had dinner with a white supremacist. What the? What's her business who he has dinner with? She had dinner with black supremacists who ate white people. If he had had dinner with the head, the founder of the KKK, that's no different than having dinner with Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson or the so-called civil rights leaders or the so-called black professors and these dumb educated black people. It's the same thing. They're no different. Their hearts are wicked. And the Great White Hope, when she said that about the white supremacy having dinner, he didn't go along with that. He just told her the truth about the real deal. And that's what you got to do. You got to stop being distracted by the devil. When I first started debating the devil, I had never debated before. It was all new, but I learned. The one thing that I was shown not to do, don't be distracted by the devil. Don't let the devil come in and throw you off. He doesn't want the truth to get out there. But if you go and try to prove something to the devil, meaning the people you're debating, then you don't have a chance to tell the truth. Point people back to the Father. But you'll get up there arguing with the devil. Oh, I ain't had no dinner with no white supremacist. That was a good guy. Let her think what she wants. It's a distraction. Just like the devil tried to distract you in your mind and emotions, he would do it outside of you in the mind and emotions of others. And because you can't see, you'll fall for it. And now you just have two devils arguing, no one showing the light. No light shining. Congratulations to the Great White Hope. What an amazing way to begin this month, August, Men's History Month. Amazing. We have some information coming up about that too. Donald Trump told that female how the cow ate the cabbage with perfect love. And yes, there are black people who voted for the Great White Hope. The Democratic Party hate that. That's the only reason they're letting Kamala Harris run around like an insane person. And because they're trying to seduce the blacks back, those blacks who have gone away, they're trying to bring them back to the plantation. And they're using Kamala Harris. She's the underground woman. You know, the blacks always say there was an underground woman that tried to help some black people escape. I think her name was Harriet Tubman or something like that. So, if that's true, yeah, Harriet Tubman. So, Kamala Harris and Harriet Tubman that the Democrats have sent out to bring the blacks back to the plantation of the Democratic Party. That's her job. That's Kamala Tubman's job. It's to bring the blacks back to the plantation of the Democratic Party. So if it means that she got to not be an Indian with a black daddy from Africa or whatever they say, allegedly, she got to be black and make some mean greens, make some mean collard greens, and go and buy some black albums, some black music, she'll do it. As long as Harry Tubman can bring the blacks back to the plantation of the Democratic Party. Amazing.